Hello, welcome back to Wolf vs. Ponies. Of course, I am Wolf, and I am not joined by Catastrophe. So, we're doing another review. This time, it is the first of 3 Rarity episodes. Hooray! As you can see how stoked I am about this, let's get started with Canterlot Boutique. We see the episode open up with Rarity trying to wait for some sort of letter about her business in Canterlot. Obviously, that's implied because of the name, and later in the episode. But she's sad because there's a lack of business this time around, up until Pinky comes in and gives her the letter after a long alliteration statement. So, it's been a long time since we've addressed any of Rarity's sort of desires. As we know from first season, she's always wanted to go to Canterlot. In the second season, she did. And like I said, in the first season, she also wanted to open a business up there. Well, now that's happening, and I'm sort of glad that the writers are doing this, but in the episode, it's like they screwed up somewhere. I'll talk more about it later once we get near the end, but obviously, with continuity, Rarity can open her business up, which for some reason the main 6 get involved. It's kind of weird since it's more of a Rarity-oriented episode, until we learn that Rarity not only has a new manager, but in order to sell a new dress, Stain on the Rain, or whatever it's called, aka the princess dress, she wants Twilight, which is the most liked princess, to wear it for her at some sort of formal occasion. Of course, Twilight accepts it, and it becomes a huge success. We also see another gay fashion expose kind of person. Oh boy. Of course, every male in fashion just happens to be gay. Man, DHX. What are you thinking when you write some of these episodes? So far, selling it is good. The princess dress is a huge success, and it's all thanks to Rarity's new manager, Sassy Saddles. But it makes it seem like Sassy Saddles is meant out to be evil, as she creates an entire plan of how to get Canterlot Boutique started up and selling day in, day out. It's almost as if they wanted us to hate Sassy Saddles, but throughout the episode we learn that Sassy Saddles isn't much of a villain. She's just more of a side character that's creating more conflict without meaning to do it. Rarity, of course, wants to improve her princess dress after she gets the inspiration of adding gems, which one pony doesn't like it because it's not the same as Princess Twilight's, which, much like in our world, and when I mean our world, I mean the human world, much like in the human world, as long as it's worn by a celebrity, everybody wants to buy it, such like the Air Jordans. Boom, instant success. A lot of other things have been sold. Heck, some guy even paid like $20,000 to look like Kim Kardashian. Clearly, the human world is just full of people trying to mimic celebrities, which is why Sassy Saddles knows what she's doing. She is making the Canterlot Boutique a lot better with business. It's booming in and out to the point where it's almost as if Dr. Seuss was in control of it. So, Sassy Saddles is doing great as a manager, but Rarity still doesn't like her. It's shown not once but twice Sassy Saddles tried to take over. Heck, she even said it as her own. She even said Sassy Saddles Boutique.
Sassy Saddles Boutique succeeds.
Although I feel like that isn't out of the want to control it. It's just that it's getting to her head. But yeah, throughout the episode, Sassy Saddles actually helps Rarity, which I don't understand why Rarity is so angry about it. It's what she wanted, and yet she dislikes it. It's as if reality sucks when you finally have it. But we also get a line about Sassy Saddles has actually seen boutiques fail.
What? No! Oh, you can't, Rarity. I've worked too hard to make this a success. I can't be a part of another failed boutique.
Which is something that is actually pretty crucial to her character. If she has helped boutiques fail, where is any of that knowledge? Why is that never expressed? Why couldn't this be a two-part episode to further give more conflict to it? Like, you could have the first part of it be a rousing success, and then the second part is when Rarity starts to realize how bad either Sassy Saddles is or how bad her boutique is. But then, of course, with Rarity seeing that Sassy Saddles has pulled the final straw against her, she decides to go out of business. Yeah, you were open for 2 days, was it? And now you just want to close it. Man, that was a lot of money you put into this, Rarity. I'm glad to see that you'll get all the money you want back out of it. Of course, she doesn't foreclose on it, but it makes it seem like she was about to give up on all of her dreams, up until all her other dresses start to sell even more than the princess dress, and Sassy Saddles sees this. We also get a small song in the episode called Rules of Rarity, but when it's first brought in, it's alright. I mean, they did bring it in at a somewhat good time. Then we get dialogue. Then it comes back. Then more dialogue. Then it comes back for a third time. It's really weird. It's like a song that just goes on and off. Why was it even included if you're not going to continue the song? I mean, heck, Season 4 had a lot more songs than this, and they weren't on and off. They were continuous. But, despite that, Rarity's boutique once again booms, and we see that she doesn't want to fire Sassy Saddles. She actually wants to keep her, but she wants her to sort of follow the rules of Rarity, as she calls it. And in the end, we get a cameo of a pony that was in a previous episode in a photograph of someone's locker in Cloudsdale, in the Weather Factory. Yeah, but it's really weird. I mean, sure, we've seen a lot of other ponies try to hit on one another, but then we also see heterosexuals, and one of them looks awfully familiar, Dusty Cat. And yeah, Sassy Saddles and Rarity, there's not a whole lot of conflict to it. This entire episode was confusing. Dr. Wolf called it generic, but I wouldn't even call it that. It's just a mishmash of plots that could be better if given more time in development. I mean, this could have been a really good Rarity episode, which would have made me like her. But, I mean, I am lost on this entire episode. I get the plot, but there's no lesson. This is the first time the lesson is not painted in black and white. But when they do it, you can't even find a lesson. Jerry Pete had to create a moral, and even that is still not satisfying enough. It's almost as if there is no moral, and as if anybody has seen anime, this is almost as if it's filler. It's not important. It has nothing to brings nothing to the table. It is literally just a filler episode. Nothing to be learned. Nothing to discuss. This is possibly the worst episode of MLP ever. Close to Philly Vanilli and Jerry Pete's Do Princesses Dream of Magic Sheep. This episode is terrible almost every way you look at it. I want to know more about Sassy Saddles, but I won't get to know more about it. And what's the next episode? Rarity investigates. I don't care about Rarity. Give me another pony. Heck, give me Twilight Sparkle or something. Rainbow Dash and Applejack have the most episodes to themselves or with the other. It's sure they're trying to give us more Rarity, but if you're gonna force it upon us week after week, it's just gonna be bland and she's gonna lose everything. Sure, you're gonna put the movie in, but I mean, heck, even the movie doesn't look all that great. So, Canterlot Boutique. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give you a 2. That is how terrible you are, Rarity. Just go back inside your hobble in Ponyville. I mean, heck, she just goes back to Ponyville. What's the point of having the boutique in Canterlot? This episode is confusing. I need a break. Alright, now that the Canterlot Boutique is gone, let us continue going with the next one, Rarity Investigates. So, after reviewing Canterlot Boutique, I'm not going to slow down. This is going to be my biggest project, probably. So let's dive right into the noir episode of MLP. So, for once we have continuity, but it is right after Canterlot Boutique. I want to feel good, but there's no room for breathing. So, we open up with Rarity displaying her detective skills when she's moving around some of the sort of stands. Yeah, well, I guess I already know what's gonna happen, but it's pretty obvious in the title, so...
Hey guys,
Oh hey, Rainbow Dash is in this episode, and right off the bat she enters with a bang. I mean, seriously, look, the entire room shakes. It's probably all that large pony's fault from the previous episode. Anyways, we learn that she's going to be a reserve for the Wonderbolts, who are going to do some sort of aerial trick. Okay, are the Wonderbolts really a military group, or are they like the Blue Angels or something? Also, what's up with these displaced credits everywhere? Also, 4 people worked on the story. 4! And only 2 of them are writers. Now that's sad. The next episode will probably suck. I mean, it is Rarity after all. Whoa, where did that come from? Your thoughts. Okay, let's just continue. Anyways, a UPS pony comes with an order that was wrong, and Rarity charms him.
You could sweet talk a filly out of candy.
Okay, that's kind of weird, Sassy. But I ship Sassy and Rarity, so anything is weird. Moving on. Canterlot banquet thing for Wonderbolts. Okay, this is thrown everywhere. Also, we get to see another male pony. My god, the manliest pony in the history of the universe of MLP. Dusty Cat, I have found your rival. I'm super manly that I can even woo Princess Celestia. Also, is it weird that he has the same color as Dash? Either there's something between the two, or it's just something else. Also, it's pretty obvious that Wind Rider's the culprit. I mean, in every detective thing, the first person you meet is usually going to be the culprit. So yeah, good job, writers. Time skip, and we're practicing at whatever the Wonderbolts are doing, for whatever it is. And boy, do we get conflict. So, Rainbow Dash is framed for sending Spitfire away because her mother came and is not sick at all. And then we see Wind Rider come and give something that would give reason that it's Rainbow Dash's fault that Spitfire is not there. So, when they're told, when Dash has to sort of prove her innocence about what she did last night, she says that she had a dream of flying with the Wonderbolts and the legend Wind Rider. Wow, you just incriminated yourself. I'm surprised you aren't actually the culprit, Rainbow Dash. So Rarity takes up the mantle to defend Dash. Boy, that's who I want to protect me. Someone who's into fashion. Clearly she's the best. Now, we begin a long journey of this review. Rarity looks for clues while getting distracted. Worst detective ever. But then she realizes that the guards must have seen something, interrogating them in this dungeon for some reason. Instead of Dash's brute force, she seduces them. Wow, these guards suck. They take a cake that was given to them by an entity they never saw. It could have been poisoned or drugged, which would have allowed Wind Rider more time. But no. Just no. Please don't do that again. No promises. Anyways, more clues are found and we get to see another noir trope. The Cockney accent.
Hello, how can I help you?
Also, those two behind her just give me a strange vibe. It's really weird. But I digress. So, after all the clues gathered by Rarity, she puts the blame on Wind Rider. Okay, are you... My gosh. I mean, sure, her evidence wasn't all that damning. Heck, even Rarity didn't even know if she was right or not. She literally had to see if the ivory scarf had the stain on it. If it didn't have it, Rarity would have made the biggest mistake of her lifetime. I mean, other than defending Dash. But we learned that he sent her out all the way to the ice mountains of some place to look for an ice iris, a cure for ponyitis, or whatever it was. I really don't care anymore at this point. This episode isn't all that good. So, does that mean we'll get a part 2? What? Wow, writers, you had 4 people to develop this story, and you couldn't even do a part 1, part 2. I mean, why? You clearly left it on a cliffhanger that could have allowed for it. So, Rainbow races over and gets Spitfire, even though it would have taken too long by any normal pony. I mean, heck, even Wind Rider probably could have done it since he does hold the record. So she succeeds, and she replaces Wind Rider because he was kicked out of the Wonderbolts. Okay, wait, are they a military group, the Blue Angels, or a club that every Pegasus wants to be part of? This is just getting ridiculous. So, everything seems to be good. Happy life ensues for both Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Oh, until DHX leaked Scaremaster. Seriously, DHX, get your stuff together. Good, you're done. Now goodbye. I may be gone now, but I'll return someday. Sure you will. Anyways, yeah, this entire episode wasn't all that great. Sure, it was a noir episode, but I get a feeling that this one and the one before it weren't really part of a bigger thing. If you know anime, it's like just filler. It takes us away from the main plot of the map, and obviously Starlight Glimmer is coming back because we all know that she will, especially after we saw her in Mending Fences. But, I mean, seriously, this one and the Canterlot Boutique weren't great. And like my noir/narration self said earlier, the next episode probably won't be good. And I don't think it is.
That's nice, dear.
Finally, we reach the end of the Rarity arc. I just hope that this will be better. Well, looks like she's having fun. So, episode unfolds with Twilight being bored because she's not really doing much, even though she's the princess of friendship. Also, the map hates her and plays ships. Jack is sent on a mission over to Manhattan in a specific area where the population is 3 times bigger than Ponyville. I wonder how Rarity knows that. Anyways, Rarity of course loves it because it's Manhattan, the city that she adored in that one previous episode, but for some reason Applejack is afraid of it. You know, that was never really explained. I mean, she's been to Manhattan twice, one as a child/filly, and the second time when she was helping Rarity in her fashion job. Skip the theme, and we arrive in Manhattan. Wait, how did I get here? What's going on? Oh, well, better left untold. Anyways, Rarity and Applejack try to cross traffic. They continue to look for the problem until it smacks Rarity right in the face. Literally. I mean, what were the odds of this paper falling from the sky right into her face? It's incredible. So, they learned that the paper says something about reviving an old tradition known as the Midsummer Festival. And the one putting it together is Rarity's old-fashioned friend, Pommel. We learn more about Coco, and we see someone closer in sort of her memory book. Her name's Charity. It's funny because it sounds like Rarity. And before Charity leaves, she gave Coco her flower. You know, the signature flower that she has in her head. And, wait, she left Manhattan forever? Just got up and abandoned everybody? No, come back, Megu-nee! Sorry about that outburst. It's anime. So, Rarity and Applejack tried to get people to help with the revival, but failed because, well, I mean, if we learn something from Rarity Takes Manhattan, everyone is a complete jerk. The worst one is that Gareth, the import-export packaging. But seriously, he's not doing anything.
Oh, hey, import-export business. But I can't spare even a moment for such things.
Rarity and Applejack separate their talents, where Applejack does hard work and Rarity helps Coco with all the costumes. Applejack, of course, suffers a lot more because, well, her hat gets torn up a lot. I mean, seriously, like 6 times. She almost got killed, and one of the actors almost got killed because the stage wasn't reinforced. Okay, hold on. Why didn't you reinforce the stage first, Applejack? That is like the most crucial thing of the Midsummer Revival. And yet you worked on everything else. The leads and the backdrop. I'm pretty sure making sure that the stage being sturdy enough to support 4 ponies on it is more important. But I digress. Coco is sad, and AJ comes up with a plan to build a smaller stage, since it'll probably be easier, and obviously it'll work. cut to the actual play, and oh my gosh, that face is so cute! The play starts up with only one person getting attracted, but then more and more people see it and want to continue it.
What's going on?
It's the Midsummer Theater Revival. The Method Man's up performing.
The revival. Oh, yeah, my pop used to bring me.
Time passes, and to the point where the play is over and done with, and for some reason the method actors thank Coco, who thanks Rarity and Applejack, who for some reason made it seem like they were just waiting to be thanked. I mean, seriously, Coco was brought up onto the stage and they were just there. Huh. Gotta say something about them. Anyways, the theme is pretty much summed up by these two ponies.
I used to think that to help my community, I had to do something big. And let's face it, in this day and age, who has the time for such a commitment? But here, you did something as simple as building a stage and putting on a play. And look at how it's brought every pony together.
I saw Coco's flyers for volunteers, but didn't think anything I'd have time to do would be that useful. I wish I'd offered to help. Even if it was just pulling a few weeds or planting a few flowers.
So, that was Made in Manhattan, and boy was that not a great episode. 3 Rarity episodes in a row. I'm pretty sure we could have used a break, DHX. Are you trying to force her upon us because no one really likes her? The lesson portrayed might actually be a forgotten one, since larger events for charity get a lot more coverage. I wonder why that is. But even no matter what, we all should try to help our community in small ways, like soup kitchens, giving a blanket to homeless people. I mean, just anything. Little things will sum up to something bigger, and everything will be good in the end. Hopefully. Plus, the Applejack work music was a bit stereotypical, Daniel Ingram, and it didn't lead up to a song. You had the perfect build-up, and you didn't use it. Overall, I rate it a 5 out of 10. But that is mainly because of Coco and her own problems and her back story. So, this has been Wolf vs. Ponies, and I will be reviewing something else next time, as well as a theory, hopefully. Bye-bye!
Hey, I'm trotting here.
Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Up yours, you son of a bitch! You don't drive me that way! Get out of here!